Okay, here we are again, Lou. We're ready for our big trip.
Right.
And I would like to know if you have any words to say before we start our big trip tomorrow.
Well, first we'll toast our trip, and I hope it all goes well.
A toast to you too, Lou.
Good.
There we go.
Wow. Drink.
That tastes good. Okay, what are the things that you would like to put on here in my wobbly camera that I'm getting used to?
Well, we're just practicing now, but I am looking forward to exploring with whoever shows up the history of our family starting in 1653. Actually starting before that in France, but with the arrival of the great recruit, 100 and so people on the St. Nicholas in 1653, our history in North America as a family begins with Hughes Picard, and we'll trace Hughes from 1653 through to Alfred's departure to Michigan in 1864. Now that's a long period, almost 300 years, I guess. 200 years. No, 200 years. And we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
We're going to be spending most of our time in Lachine and Dorval, which is in southwestern Montreal. And we'll then be spending one day in the south of the St. Lawrence Seaway in Chautauqua and in Beauharnois and in the little towns that are around that area between there and Valleyfield, which is that big city in the south.
Right. Okay, so what are the things you're hoping you can accomplish on this trip?
Well, I'm hoping we'll find out new things about our family, and I'm hoping that the people that come with us will learn, part of the history.
Okay. And are you excited about all of your family coming there?
Well, I'm curious to see who shows up and how everything goes. So yes, I guess I am.
Okay. Any other things that I think we're all packed now?
Right.
And ready to go.
Well, it's a long trip.
It is a long trip.
So I'm looking forward to it, but we'll break it into 2 days, so it won't be so bad.
And we can't forget when we get to the border to buy the alcohol for the party.
Right.
Okay. And any other parting notes?
Nothing unless you can ask me some questions. I'll be happy to try to answer them.
I think I'm all questioned out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. I'm all tired.
It's hard to ask questions, isn't it?
It is hard. I'm not doing too good as a reporter here.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
All
let's
right.
see how it works.
Let's see how it works.
Gravestone as of the last time we were there.
Yeah.
In other words, we still have relatives
This is Lou
Long
talking
distance
about the
in that
family
period. So, all right.
Can I say just a minute?
that was Mary
Can I
taking a
just finish my
picture.
story?
Yeah.
No, that's really
Say
fine.
hi, Mary.
Okay.
Hi, Pauline. This is Mary
1864,
Picard.
Alfred, 3 months short of a law degree.
Divine
And
intervention.
what is now-
He was on the run.
I think he was estranged from his father. He wasn't looking for land. He never was a farmer.
Maybe he was spying.
As you know, he was a hotel manager.
When he went down there, was he married to
Did you meet a girl?
his first wife?
No, they married in Saginaw at St. Mary's Cathedral.
She died young.
Oh, he died in
Well, I
China.
thought they went to high school together.
Isn't
or
it
school
first
That's
together.
different, they did. And then
Yeah.
he came back after, there were two,
Amelia.
Wait, just a minute, just
What?
stop. Could you fix, because not everybody knows the story of after Alfred got to
I
Saginaw.
will do that, yeah.
So-
Alfred came to Saginaw, and a few years later, married a woman named Amelia Poquet, right? Yep.
And it was
First
an
wife.
E with an E.
First
not an
wife.
A.
It was
Right.
an A.
You were the.
No, it was an E. It was EMELIA. That's what you first told me.
It could be, and I'd have to go back and look. I have the documents for this, by the way,
Okay.
from
Yeah,
Saginaw.
that's what you showed me. Or
Yeah.
You're a
sent.
celebrity.
It's
Yeah.
I
Amelia.
died young.
Yeah, well, no.
No, don't worry, you're not gonna die
Most of
young.
them lived a long time, so we hope for the best. What can we do?
I didn't know that one.
All right.
But you're only gonna be the
Then,
first wife, not a
after she
second.
died, and she had 2 children. One was a La Chapelle, as you know, and that was with her first husband. And then I believe it was John. It was Alfred. No, Alfred was the other half brother. He was. I've got it written down. But so there that
Okay, right.
he had one living child with Amelia. I think that was Fred.
You're
No,
Amelia,
Alfred.
Yeah.
doctor.
Yeah.
You're Amelia.
Now, one other thing, then I'll stop. He then, after, within a few months of her dying, scuttled back up here to St. Louis de Gonzague and found Zephyrin Legault La Chapelle. They were married just here around the corner in the Cathedral of Notre Dame. Big shot, lots of money. This was probably not cheap to do. It was the Basilica.
But they had been childhood sweethearts.
They had their childhood sweethearts.
They had at 14, they had a fight.
And they had a
I
fight.
got that from my dad.
And they were probably kissing cousins. They were-
Yeah, that,
You know,
I don't wanna know about that.
but I'm gonna tell you anyway because
It could explain a lot.
Yes, you do.
Isaac's wife was called Emily Legault.
Yes, that's
Third one?
Zephyrin was Zephyrin Legault.
Yeah.
That family married into, the French did this all the time. They married into,
The Portuguese did too.
yeah, they
I'm
did.
confused.
Yes.
Can you explain that again?
Yeah. Isaac, grandfather, right, Alfred's father, married a woman named Emily Legault. The Legault family is a huge family in this area.
What's your last name?
Very common French-Canadian name. Alfred's second wife was named Zephyrin Legault. That was her maiden name. And she had remarried a La Chapelle, and then she liked it. She didn't speak much English. So they moved back to Quebec in 1880 and lived back here for 3 years. If he, and that's why Alex and Marianne were born here. If he had not decided to move, or they had not decided to move back to Saginaw, we'd all still be here.
She was a
Frank would have been born here as well.
According to my father,
He would-
she was the most terrific
Yeah,
woman you ever met.
Now, that's
Really?
that's the end of my
We're talking
story.
about
That was his mom.
Mother, Alex Zephyrin. She ran the family.
One more question. What was
The rooming
his,
house.
how did he make a living when he,
Yes. But I was only 3.
yeah, when he
2 or 3
moved
years
here
old
in,
before she
or excuse me, you said he came from Montreal the first time sort of blindly, we don't know why. What were there any,
There are
what
two
drove
stories.
it?
One, he was working as a hotel manager and perhaps partial owner of a hotel in Saginaw.
Oh, in Saginaw.
Saginaw.
He also had financial problems. He got caught in one of what they called the panics of the 19th century.
Sure.
And I believe he lost all his money. He may have lost some of his family's money. So
Bernie
then he
made off
came.
Picard.
Well, you know,
You're right. He
that's
made.
right.
I guess he made and lost
Yeah, he
3
made
or
and
4
lost.
million. You know, he was
yeah.
wealthy, poor, wealthy,
Right,
poor,
okay.
wealthy, poor.
And so they ended
Which is so
up.
Picard.
They ended up running, as some know, a boarding house, or actually it's kind of almost several buildings together. I mean, your dad owned
it
one
was
of
a
the
boarding house.
Yeah, it was a boarding house, yeah.
That's why the bell was stolen.
That's where the bell was stolen from.
Sure, but there was a hotel and then there was
There
Atwater.
were several
Yeah,
hotels.
there was more than one hotel.
I have a
Is
question.
that the word stolen?
It was
The
not.
brothers that Zephyrin had, I mean, the sons that Zephyrin had were Alfred and
No, Joseph
they
La
were
Chapelle was,
they were the Flying Picards.
no.
No,
that's
one.
Just one, Alfred.
The Alfred La Chapelle was the first flying Picard. Then his 3 brothers, his father, Joe,
Grandfather, yeah.
and
They
and
were all.
Fred were
joined them.
Yeah.
joined them.
And that's
My-
the picture that, because I have this
Yes.
picture that Aunt Pat gave me of them in their.
Yeah, Alfred
in
is
their
the
whole-
eldest
whole
son.
troop.
And he was a step,
Whatever, I don't know.
he was Zephyr's step
Okay,
son.
got you.
And
Yeah,
my father always wanted to run off
to join the circus.
to join the circus, and his
they-
mother told her three sons.
You're the only one of the brains.
You're right. You're the only
You
one-
remember the story. My
And
dad.
there was a movie made
Yep,
about
you're the only one
flying
brain.
Picards.
Get him off the
A movie,
train.
not that I know
I've
of.
been
but-
told there's a movie somewhere about the flying Picards, so several people
Well, he made a
told
movie.
me this.
See, now that's a
Yeah,
good
you were
Presentation,
telling me.
yeah.
No,
Have you seen
Have you
his?
seen his presentation?
Dad told me.
Oh,
what
God, I
happened
wish
when
we-
they-
Lou, you should be like there.
When your, you know when your parents were married?
Yeah, they were married. 1941.
Yeah, it was when I was in high school.
You know, there's something with 1941 because I have different papers that, I mean, I think what Alex is making, that was when he got his citizenship in 1941.
His what?
Citizenship,
Alex?
41. Yeah, he wasn't a
He was
citizen.
voting before then.
Yeah, yeah.
Back in those days.
Oh, yeah, so.
You're married, Picards, how are you related? Who are you?
Well,
He's your second cousin.
my grandfather was Alex, who was the brother of Frank Picard and Mary, yeah.
Their first cousin was removed, and your second cousin.
And he, Alex was your uncle.
Yeah.
Who's
But I never
Mary?
could figure out, I mean, Kay was so cute and
Wasn't she adorable? I know. She was so nice. Your mom. Kate.
Oh,
he
yeah,
had more, God, he had so many girlfriends.
Well, that's
My
right.
father. Oh, I know, and I really, can we talk into the night? Because, did you know a Margaret Pelon? I think that, Benoyer. I think that my father was really in love and wanted to marry this Margaret, but I think my grandmother Marie didn't want him to get married.
Well, yeah, she always
They were
wanted.
only 17 years old at the time.
Oh, yeah, but you know who used to go with
Just wanted to meet the handsome.
she was a Morley. Yeah, he went with one of the Morleys.
Oh, way.
And
My
really,
father.
oh, yeah.
And they had one of the houses in the Grove.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think, I can't figure out who was
Richer than God. I mean, you know, they had Morley Brothers store
Yeah.
and they had all, they were big lumber.
I have a feeling that early in his, I think my mother was his later life true love, really, I do. But I think he had another true love.
But it would be,
Yeah, but you see, my dad wanted, my father was all ready to put your.
but it would be Canadian
your,
anyway.
your dad through
I know,
law through
yeah.
school. But he was on his way doing a lot of other things
And
Yeah.
why didn't he?
Yeah.
because he thought he knew it all. You know.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know even growing up, I think he thought he was someone, but he never had the income to keep hanging with the
Yeah. Well, he ran around with
He did. I know, but he never thought he had to produce, in his own life.
No, he thought he was, but you know, he was real good looking, and he
And a
I
good
think he had a car.
personality.
I think he had a car.
He had money to buy gas.
Well, 25 cents a gallon.
Before he
Oh,
died.
yeah, it was probably before he died.
But it may have been his last.
I didn't know he did. I just did his Chesapeake about 2 years ago,
Oh.
which was because my daughter was, my second daughter was.
I love Chesapeake. I did like grab stuff and do each other and that kind of crap. That was too much for me at that one, but I've loved it.
Remember the crabs one?
Oh, yeah, they're talking down on the,
Oh, down.
they were turning hard shells and so on.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Wrapping in the those birds that they got. But
No,
they're
I know that. But I was thinking about the.
different. Because the first 100 pages, it's
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
just written a novel.
These guys are amazing.
And we want to wipe too.
You should find out when he's World War II. and it's sort of like a story about bullfighters and so on. And then pretty soon he starts to go back into the selling of Mexico by the Indians.
Wait, so the S, he talks about the S? Who's that now? Does he go into, you're not done with it. So did it go into New Mexico?
And I think
We made it!
Do it again, Meg.
We made it!
Yay, we did. From Barack's.
Idea to reality.
Exactly. This is wonderful.
Lou and Pauline.
Thank Lou.
He's going to retire. He's grandfathered out now. He's finished. He's going to have to go up back and make movies.
Another welfare state.
Not with Maria.
Yeah, that's right. She's got.
He married well.
She's a good woman, though.
So, but is he going to be a resident?
Cod in a wooden box. It was all salted. And then my mom would run hot water through it, make it into cream sauce, and put it on boiled potatoes. Did you ever have that? Is that a thing in the Picard family? German?
Not very pleasant.
God, I hope not.
No, but
Yeah. It might have been French too.
I thought it was a French Canadian because they did so much with dried whitefish all the way back.
What about the pea soup? I mean the bean soup.
Well, that was
The soup.
That was Voyager.
Green pea porridge with ham.
The fish could very well have been French Canadian.
And I think it must have
Probably
been.
more Canadian than French because they did a lot of fried stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. I just,
Google everything.
you know, when we had to
Yeah.
have, when we had to have fish on Friday, and my mom was Methodist, and she tried her best. I know she fixed that. You know, I loved it, and I'm sure it was so bland.
You mean when you were little? I thought they got rid of fish on Friday.
Oh no! That was no. That's just pretty recent.
Oh, no, that's St. John the Pudding, or that's Vatican.
Yeah, that was when we were all sort of Protestants.
Never should have died.
Right along with that.
Yeah.
What did you say?
John the Pudding.
Did you order that?
Oh yeah. Yes, I did. Yeah.
I would love to.
Look, that's interesting.
We're listening to Uncle John tell of his many travels.
Yes.
And it's quite striking how his...
But you know which canal
I haven't seen him in
transfers the most amount of money every year. It
his
did.
gesture. First, he looked so much like my
something to the Great
grandfather,
Lakes, right?
Frank Picard. And, and his gestures are so much like my grandfather's and my mom's.
Yeah,
This is the first time I've met him when he lived like
that's a trip.
that way. When he lived on State Street. Drive by there all the time. Yeah. Never actually met the gentleman. Heard a lot about him.
Meg, I better call that lady.
Oh, the lady.
Okay, she knows we're coming, so she just wanted our
All she needs to know is a
phone
number.
She was totally, so she's fine.
Believe me, she got very,
She was just thrilled that she didn't have to speak English. She said she was stuck in that place by herself.
Probably conveniently.
no wait, she said,
How does that go? Just a couple of
Well,
miles an hour?
7
knots or 7, yeah.
They do when I travel. Yeah, right.
It's 7 knots, but it has a governor on it.
Yeah.
That's as far as you can go.
Like renting a U-Haul, you can't rent it any more than
Oh, to get
55,
the,
right?
You're right. And we.
That sounds, I didn't know you could do that. I thought you had.
And it's just.
You can do it all over Europe.
Just peaceful as you want.
Where was this?
In France.
You can rent a barge and Johnny drove it.
You did? Go. We should do that for a family reunion. That'd be fun.
But
Saturday.
for $1,000 billion.
we would hook
You
up
get
at
off.
night. You remember the movie Chocolate?
It's my favorite. It's my life.
Chocolate? Well, we pulled up at that
Oh, I love your husband.
Walmart.
She said, half the time when they do an autopsy, they don't know what the cause of death was. 50% of the time. So it's not unusual to
Got
get.
your provisions?
Got our provisions, and they had a delicatessen.
Oh, I bet.
Little thing. They had a deli there. We got food like we never thought we could.
Oh my God, I gained 15 pounds. I gained 15. Oh my God, the food was good.
But even the
Where was this, Robin?
France. I never stopped eating.
Oh, I know. I haven't stopped eating since I met Lou.
Yeah, you remember?
I don't know.
Because Pat told me, I always called him Sandy. She goes, oh, that was never his real. No, Patrick and Sandy, but his Sandy was never his real name.
No, I don't know.
All right,
You're right. Which is the diver? Which is the diver?
That would have been Patrick.
Patrick.
Yeah, because Tommy lives in Singapore.
Well, he's in New Zealand right now on a trip with his sons. I got it from
Tommy's the real smart one. The real successful one.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And Zip, I don't know. Does anybody know where he is?
he's living in DC, driving a cab, still driving a cab, and sort of day to day, not day to day, but still
Never married, never.
I don't know about that, but I know, he finished law school, but he wasn't able to practice.
Scott, that's the another Picard, right? That lives in
would be
D.C.,
Frank
but that's
Picard's
Frank
kids.
Picard.
Yeah.
And
Zippy.
They call him
Can't be
Zip.
his legal name.
No, he's Frank.
Frank Picard Jr.
Well, he's Frank Picard the third, really, but we don't really know that because my father's middle name was just A as far as he was concerned, because he didn't want anybody to know what his middle name was.
Albert. Arthur. Albert.
I don't know what we got 3 days right here, and then my brother Frank, but my father was known as Zip when he was in high school.
Because he'd zip around the football
My father,
field.
yeah, because of football.
Yeah.
And therefore, when I think my brother, which was probably smart, he figured this kid will get all the dough, because we'll call him Frank after my father, and you can hear. Plus, we'll call him nickname Zep. And that's well, listen, we had but I out-schemed him because we got a boxer. And my father really wanted to call me. He actually wanted to call his first son.
Oh, a boxer. This is a dog. Okay, a dog. I thought maybe it was one of the kids.
No. My father wanted to name one of his sons Napoleon Anthony because good French. And my mother would never do it. So what did I do? We got a boxer. We called him Napoleon Anthony. I thought I would outmaneuver my brother. Didn't work.
So nobody has any communication with Zippy?
No. I don't know. I really have very little.
With Frank's children, we don't have much contact with Frank's children.
So when I went to medical school in New York,
Yeah, with you were
when I was at, I was going to say, one of the
Marx's son.
Well, I learned a great. Well, it was the son they never had.
I know, they were terrific
but
What did
yeah,
you
so
order?
I learned a
what?
great
Here,
deal.
that's something
about,
bad
things 'cause
for
I don't
your
remember.
Charlie
And I sat behind Lou and the Carmen D, and I
Okay, I have to start that over because I didn't have it on record, so here we go. Where did you guys meet?
Well, I knew Lou since I've been 12 years old.
No, really?
And Mary was my best friend. And my mom had just died, and I used to go over to Mary's house because I loved her mother. And Lou's mom. And then Mary and I were going to Ann Arbor, Michigan when we were 17 years old, remember? And
Mary, there she is.
There she is. And then we went into Charles Cook's Carmen Gia, and Lou was in the passenger seat, and I sat behind him. And Mary sat behind me. I knew that I never wanted to date anybody young, so we called them OMMs, old mature males. Because how
The worst kind. They've had their agreement.
I was 17 and they were
was a professor. He was also a jazz.
They just got married though.
Yeah, and then Lou and I,
So it was one of the Williams girls.
5 years ago.
when Mary got married, my husband
The tennis player.
was the best man in Mary's wedding. I was the matron of honor.
Serena.
And then Lou was here, and we were all in the wedding party. And Jim was in the wedding party. He was a baby.
Arthur, which high school? Arthur.
But then Madonna's from Bay City.
I went to
She
see
went to high
him.
school.
And so you knew Charlie Day. The day,
And
you
so
know the day.
anyway, then Ron and I got together in 1993, and then we got married in 2005.
They lived on Adams Boulevard.
And here we are.
Say that again, Lou.
What? Oh, I don't know of many Picards that were teetotal or out of choice.
That were what?
Out of choice.
Teetoilers. Okay. Well done.
Meg's second daughter. Yeah. Meg's second daughter.
Hi, how are you? Nice to see you.
Listen, you want part of my food because I can't eat.
Oh, maybe. There's a chair here.
Mary Picards over
Oh, great.
You're not Mary Sorrow. You're not Mary Picard. You know what I do? Okay, you're recording. Now hang on a second. Hang on a second. Okay, Adrian. Hey, hi. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you? I'm so happy to be here.
I am so happy you're there too, and thank you, Jim, for taking a picture.
I got your nose there. I got
You got
that.
my nose, okay, of you taking. And you got here safe and sound from California?
Today from California. I'm mostly living in New York, but I flew in from LA.
You live in LA?
I live in New York now.
Oh,
but
where?
well, I sort of live in LA. I sort of live in New York.
Oh, where do you live in New York?
In Times Square.
I know Times Square. I've been there once.
Is there? I went there
No,
one time
and it's
in
never
midnight.
dark either.
It's never dark and it's always... But wait, didn't they close some of the streets?
They did. They closed 7th Avenue for a few blocks, and they made it a pedestrian.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's great actually.
You like it?
It's that it makes the sidewalks less congested, and it's they put out kind of like patio furniture.
Right, that's
Somebody
what I heard.
sponsored it, and people are really like sitting in the plaza as if it's like a European city or Montreal or something. It's really
Well, you know what made me, when I went to New York for the first and only time,
really
was Lou and I were at a hotel. He was giving a conference on a book he had done or something he had done. And so we walked around and we went to Times Square, and I thought it was like an X, or I thought it was a square, but it's a nothing.
It's like a triangle kind of island.
It is. It's very strange. Yeah. And I
Broadway,
was-
8th and 7th are all interesting.
Right, and I was somewhat disappointed.
Oh,
Well, I experienced a square with derelicts in the middle.
when
I
was
wasn't able to
it?
see the classic shot that you get when you're on TV.
No.
But it
What's
was
that,
Times
Jim?
Square. And I think I was looking down, they do come in conversion. I think I was looking down one and didn't get on the other side of the street to look at the other.
Yep,
So.
yep.
Okay.
It's actually, the best shot is if you're looking uptown. That's where you get like the cup of noodles.
Yeah, they got a
That
lot of different
marquee.
signs up there and big, huge pictures with big hands sticking out and
Yep,
stuff.
yep. And the Keith Haring fencing.
Yeah.
Now, Adrian, what took you to New York from California?
Theater directing.
Oh, wow, theater directing.
I've been working on shows for a little over a year nonstop.
What
And,
shows have you been working with?
7 different shows. One of them was Beyond Therapy, the one with Daryl Hammond, and I worked on a show called Bloody Bloody Andrew Jackson that was just at the Public Theater, and I worked on a show called Dance Dance Revolution at the Ohio Theater, and Language of Trees at the Roundabout, and Peter and the Starcatchers, which is a Peter Pan prequel.
Right.
That was actually at the La Jolla Playhouse, so I was in San Diego for that, and I worked on a show called Up Here that's
a new musical going to Broadway.
No, they went down to the basement.
And by the people who did Avenue Q. It's really, really clever. And I'm now trying to write a musical.
Are you really?
Songs and everything?
I'm not writing the songs, but I'm not writing the music. I'm writing some of the lyrics.
Okay.
How exciting. Are you enjoying New York?
I love New York. I don't, it's funny because I've been living out of a suitcase for over a year. And that is taking a toll, but it's pretty exciting, and it has enabled me to be more fluid about taking work, and as opportunities come up. And I love New York. Yeah, I was actually an urban studies major in college, and I went to school in New York. And
so where are you living now?
well, so I'm in Times Square when I'm in New York, and then when I'm in LA, I have a house with these two girlfriends from college. And that is, it feels very suburban. It's in this area called Los Feliz.
And every time you look down the store,
It's beautiful. Right by Griffith Park. It's by Griffith Park, which is kind of divides Hollywood and the Valley.
Right, okay.
But yeah.
Well, I don't hardly
This is Emily and Adrian.
That's a pretty outfit. Thank you. Color.
I think it's Meg Campbell.
It's Meg Campbell. Aww.
until I worked up at Macon Island.
How are you?
In high school and college.
Good, was your flight okay?
Then Macon Island had two police officers, two state troopers. One of those state troopers came up and said, "You don't remember me."
My flight got in at like 4:30.
You remember when your parents,
Emily
in the early 30s, right after Roosevelt was elected? You remember your parents going to New York for a weekend? I said, "Yeah." He said, "I
Would I be right?
Your
It's very that style. And colors. So you were upstairs?
I was out on the side lawn. Go back and said, "Great story, Frank." But the train didn't stop in Ann Arbor.
That's great.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
Did you ever, Johnny, keep, find all those letters that Mother had from Dad when he was in the service?
Oh.
There were just
I have one set that it was decoupage that I have with the story that he wrote from here. Remember I got three.
you know, in their bedroom in that closet, there was just piles of letters that, and Pat and I used to go in there and read them. You know, there were love letters that Dad wrote to Mother during the war. And I just wondered when they sold the house whether anybody ever took those.
I don't know. You were the one. I took nothing out of the house.
Well, I didn't take the letters. I wish I had.
No.
I know.
She couldn't open the door because of the room, remember? And the kitchen was the other, but you could almost stand like this and this and touch both walls.
Yeah, that was a box and a wooden stove.
Yep.
Now where's a wooden stove?
Willow Run.
A wood stove.
And I thought, this is marriage? What the hell?
Oh, but they really thought they had it great because they had an end house. See, so they had an extra window because they were about 10 in a row, so that the middle ones didn't have any but a front window and a back window.
But where is Willow Run?
Willow Run is just outside Ann Arbor.
Okay.
Oh, Willow
They had all these,
The old airport, basically.
But then they found out in the wintertime that if they had had the middle one, they never would have probably had to put any wood in the stove.
oh my God.
But they were on the end, so they had to keep theirs heated.
Well, you had bunk beds, right? You had bunk beds.
Judy,
Yeah, they have bunk
no, I
beds.
haven't met her yet. Let's see, I have not met Judy and I've not met Sarah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's great. Yeah. Four of you, yeah.
Johnny, John, Joe McDonald, Joe and Bonnie McDonald were out there.
They invented a air conditioner.
Everybody else.
Did his
I've got
son ever,
lucky, honey, so you
those
can
kids
go up.
skate?
Okay, but
No, but you know, no, Joe's still skating.
Joe was the first.
you've been there.
Joe's still skating and winning medals in the Senior Olympics or something.
And then Jim McDonald ran General Motors right to the crowd.
No, he didn't run it so much, but he started it.
Now, is Dr. Haberman
Not a problem. We're just enjoying the sun.
Are we going in here or in the?
Right now we are at the Lachine Historical Museum. Here's Mary. Hey, hi Mary. And here's Bob. Hi Bob. And
Bonjour.
here is
Yeah, come and tell you.
in the sunshine, and this is the beautiful Lachine Museum, our first stop of many today. This is the house we're going to tour as soon as everybody gets settled. Lachine, the historical museum. This is Helene Lamarche, who will be our lecturer at the Lachine Museum, and then we're going to have a tour after she's done lecturing.
And I'm one of the non-related.
Thank God.
Thank you.
Got on at the last
Oh,
bus.
Robin, my name is Bob Jennings. I am also unrelated, except through marriage.
I'm Patricia Picard Campbell, daughter of Ruth Mary Picard.
I'm Amelia Campbell, Tracy's daughter.
I'm John Luke Picard, captain of the Starship Enterprise. Just came down for a while.
Hope you won't
Back a few years. Yeah, I'm Scott Campbell, the grandson of Frank Picard.
And
the son of Ruth Mary.
And I'm
Ruth Mary Picard, and I'm the granddaughter of Alfred Picard. I won't remember it all, but it's nice to know.
I'm Ann Campbell, the second daughter of Ruth Mary Picard Campbell. And I'm Meg Campbell, the daughter of Ruth Mary.
She's sort of the reincarnated Ruth Mary.
Jim?
Yeah. I'm Jim Picard, Lou's brother and son of Vince Picard. Alexander Vince.
That's us.
By the Chinese in the early 15th century, and they sent mass boats around the world in the early 1420s. And there's a lot of evidence that they came down the St. Lawrence. They were in Greenland. They were in Newfoundland. And I'm just curious if there was a Chinese presence historically, even before that, from 200 years.
Yeah, but I don't. But the Cartier naming of this is not linked to that. It was a mistake. They didn't have a clue as to where China was, and so they just thought this was really not very far from China.
Well, yeah, they knew they were not in China.
Yeah,
that
but
they
this was
knew.
the gateway.
But it was, and well, I have an hypothesis at this point. There is in France, in Brittany, a place called Lorient, which has nothing to do with Orient. It's on the western side of France. It was called Lorient because it was the port where the ships to Eastern Orient. So they gave the point of departure the name of the destination.
Reproduced on the drawings, and we can see it if we look very, very close. It's very, very fine. They probably served as kinds of passports with the native Indians whenever they came for the first parish.
this is inside the Lachine Museum.
No, the house wasn't part of the forts. Okay. The house is actually between two forts. Okay. So it wasn't, we don't know if it was actually protected by a wooden dance or something. And the archaeologists will start digging again this summer in August in front of the house. They excavated under this floor and on the
This is okay, this is Point Picard. It's owned by the military for their picnics and parties, etc. And it's a little bit of a marina on the water. And everybody's out here just to take a picture because then we're all going to go out to eat lunch. Okay, this is where we're going to eat lunch at this pub in Dorval. And we're all going to go inside and have a nice Canadian lunch.
They all did.
Is that right? We found a sunglasses.
Here we are in the Dorval pub.
You did, really?
I found them.
Going to have some lunch at the Dorval pub. Hi, Lou.
Hi.
Is this taken? No, it's yours.
Yeah, mine.
What do you have?
Okay, here we are at the Dorval Historical Museum. Hi, Mary.
All right, Pauline.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Pauline.
And
hello, everybody else.
And everybody else, okay.
TV land.
TV land. So we're all going to go into the Dorval Historical Society to have a listen to a talk by Richard Picard, and then we'll go on to the Picard house. There's the almost the river there.
Where's she want to go?
Hi, Ruth. How are you?
Went to buy your ticket?
Here we are inside the Dorval Historical Museum with Richard Picard. Okay, we are on the last of our stops as of today, on the 26th, and this is the Picard home that we are walking all around. And it borders on St. Louis.
He's volunteered to take a group photo of us before
in front of the house.
Identify this house.
Oh, he's going to take a photo of us in front of the house.
Yeah, another photograph.
Is this all, what is all this stuff?
From a tree. And there is the house.
Richard,
when did
I know, but I don't see it in piles like that.
Like what? I think the trees are just so huge.
Richard said he used to come here as a little boy and fish, and little did he know that this was his family's home. He lives just up the street on Martin Street. Meg said that this is their great-great-great-grandfather's house.
The Anchorage. Yeah, there's a picture that shows the
And this is the woman who... Oh, and she's apologizing for not mowing the lawn. This is inside the Picard home.
We're like a hotel here. There's always somebody
Which is
staying.
very beautiful.
That's very French, isn't it?
He was a colonel,
And he was in the First World War.
Oh, World War I.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Canadian or?
Oh, yes.
It's a chandelier that does it.
My father was in the war too. My father, that's the bust underneath the head. But my father was Greek. He was in Greece. And I think that our two fathers got together and introduced my husband and me when we both got divorced kind of at the same time.
There's the open stairwell going up right in the middle.
And what is the picture of Eisenhower?
And then there's
Which picture?
the water out there.
No, that's my father there. The lady.
The wait times are.
Okay, this is the back of the house.
In 1689, on Picard land, that's when they held the Iroquois held the prisoners.
I waited
this
a
land
long
right
time.
here. So it would be interesting.
This is the Fur Museum where we're at, and there is our guide who gave us an interesting talk about the Fur Museum and the Voyagers. And now we're walking around the museum. We just got all the furs. It's a hands-on museum. You can walk around, see all.
Relatives of Picard. The name is Picard. Okay. Yeah.
But the employees, they came usually mostly from the islands.
There's Tracy going and looking at the forts and the trading posts. There's Bob looking at the special exhibition. Okay, here we are at this little cafe, which I don't know the name of, right outside of St. Louis de Gonzague. And Meg is pointing to, oh, there's the little red sign, which I will get. But here we are at our little table, all sitting out here and ordering our lunch. And we have a half hour to eat because we're going to go to the, St. Louis de Gonzague Church to get a tour. Okay. And so here we all are eating and having a good time. It is called the Restaurant du Coin. Okay, and there it is. I don't know if you can see that, Restaurant du Coin. Maybe we can see it better there. I will try. There we are. Okay, now we're all getting ready to order. This is the restaurant where we are eating. It's called Restaurant du Coin. It's right outside of St. Louis de Gonzague. And now we're going to go into the town, which is right beyond the stop sign. And we are now at St. Louis de Gonzague. And we're going to show everybody all that there is to see in the church and in the cemetery. Well, here we are now at the, they can park right there. Here we are right now at the St. Louis de Gonzague Church, and there's the little Our Lady of Fatima grotto, and the cemetery is way in the back. And everybody is arriving now, and we're going to meet with some people to talk about the Picard family and their role in St. Louis de Gonzague. Here we are getting ready to enter the church with Ruth Mary and beautiful flowers, and it's really very beautiful here. Pretty yellow flowers. Maybe I think they're buttercups. And here comes Mary and Bob.
At the Fur Museum?
In 1947. Shows, it's a souvenir of the century of the parish house, 1940, centennial, from 1847 to 1947. Roland and Rachel are are here. There's Roland and there's Rachel, and they're going to talk to us. And this is the beautiful church.
Do you have a sense?
And we're hearing beautiful music, which you may not be able to hear.
Thérèse, heureux de vous accueillir dans notre paroisse.
Faut que je traduise ou quoi? Il faut que je traduise, je crois, oui.
Oui. Ah,
Ouais.
mais je peux traduire un petit peu. Je peux traduire. Je peux traduire après. Je vais parler très lentement, puis je peux traduire.
Moi, je peux le faire.
Les choses simples, je peux traduire. Oui, OK. Alors, OK, nous sommes deux personnes. Nous nous occupons de la Société d'histoire de Saint-Louis-Gonzague.
Okay, they're in charge of the historical society of this area.
Et nous vivons dans le village ici. Nous vivons dans cette paroisse ici.
They live in this parish. Some information that maybe you don't have.
Church.
Des
It's
noms,
very beautiful.
des papiers, des photos.
Pictures, names of people, papers.
Would you ask if they would like a brief explanation of the Picards who moved to eastern Michigan from here?
Bon, il a toute l'histoire que tous les Picards qui sont partis ici, en Michigan.
Au Michigan.
Si vous
Elle
voulez.
a l'histoire des gens qui sont allés au Montana.
Ah, okay.
Back of the church where the organ is. I don't think you can see it. There it is. It's very beautiful. And the Stations of the Cross. And I pan around very slowly to the back of the church. Oh, I know.
Il a les mêmes yeux.
Le même visage?
Oui, oui, même visage.
Oh,
Les yeux bleus?
Oui, les yeux
Ah,
bleus.
oui.
Il habite ici?
Non, il habite ici. La paroisse voisine,
Meg. C'est vrai, Michel, il s'appelle Michel? Okay, we're going to call him. We're going to call him that. She's telling us that he looks exactly like her nephew.
Say that again?
She's telling us that her nephew, she asked me, is he a Picard too? I said, he's my brother. She said he looks exactly like her nephew, Michel Picard.
Right, interesting.
When she said when he came in, she thought it was her nephew.
Oh.
And she
Scott.
thought
Scott. There you are, Scott.
Looks like his grandfather, Lou.
Il est là?
I think he does.
She said something about George Clooney. I'm trying to think out. No, they lost the translation.
I know
Qu'est-ce qu'il fait? Parce qu'il est médecin.
Second cousin.
third or fourth of the grade.
Well, you get further away.
It is, yes. My cousin.
Like a trucking.
He works for a transport Les bons.
77.
Oxygen tanks. He transports and he takes he takes oxygen tanks. For the transport company, he takes them he takes them in.
People say I look like you, Johnny.
Oh, God. Help you.
Il a quel âge maintenant?
Michel, il est en... Il est en 92. Il est né en 92.
Il est né en 82?
Il est né en 92. 28.
It was because of a Voyager? A merchant that was called Charles the Rock.
Oh.
C'est ça. Puis ce monsieur Charles Larocque-là, en 1842, a fait une requête à Monseigneur Bourget pour fonder Saint-Louis-Gonzague.
Oh, so he made a big
Monseigneur.
Here we are in the cemetery behind St. Louis de Gonzague. Here is Yvonne Picard, Provost. her tomb stone right here. I know, Yvonne. Picard Provost, 1919 to 1989. And Picard Georges, 1891 to 1973. And Parent Olive, 1898 to 1776. Can you start again now? Your parents, great-grandparents have been married.
In this, my great-grandparents were married in this church in 1876. And as they came out, they would have seen this square, of course, with horse and buggy. But the statue of the founder of Montreal would have still been there. The founder of Montreal recruited our original ancestor as part of the Great Recruitment to come to this city originally in 1653.
Here we are in front of Notre Dame. We had just come out of church, and it is truly a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful church. Every area is filled with art.
you.